终于结婚啦！
好像这边女儿嫁不出去的感觉，这样什么意思啊？嘿嘿，我是 Cynthia，
嗨，我是 Lucas，
欢迎大家回到我们的频道，记得要先订阅，每次都会忘记讲。今天是我们的大日子，
因为我们今天要结婚了。
那其实我们呢，差一点点结不了婚。我们昨天才拿到我们该要有的文件，就超级惊险，但是还好我没有拿到。然后今天呢，这个影片就跟大家分享这个登记的流程，特别是在台湾跟外国人登记的流程，其实会有点不太一样，而且花超多钱的。反正今天这个影片呢，大家到最后跟大家分享到底我们花了多少钱。然后我们今天请到2个证人，第一个证人是我认识15年的好姐妹。Sylvia! Yay!
And we of course need some Swedish representation as well. The Swedish representative here in Taiwan, Helena.
这是我们今天2位证人，感谢 Helena 还有 Sylvia 一起来参加我们今天这么重要的日子。因为我们有预约时间，现在时间差不多，我们先赶快去登记喽。
毕竟第一次结婚嘛，刚进去时有点不知所措。大家来看啊 ，Lucas 可是会写中文的哦。再次谢谢我的好姐妹 Sylvia 和瑞典办事处处长 Helena 当我们的证人。在这登记的过程呢，就是有很多资料需要签署。在台湾与外国人结婚会需要特别写一份中文姓名声明书哦。
卖身契，确定吗？确定。
好，确定。想继续看，订阅。So now we are officially married, and although I'm Swedish, it feels a little bit weird to knowing that I'm now married here in Taiwan, but not actually yet married in Sweden. I just thought we're gonna ask Helena as the Swedish representative, based on what we did here today and how we normally would get married in Sweden, what are the differences?
Well, I do think that the main thing is that you are now married, you know. That expression of love, it will be the same in Sweden or in Taiwan. So that's all common, right?
Okay.
But of course the procedure or the process may be a bit different. I guess in Sweden you can choose to either get married in the church or in the city hall. But this is a little bit more administrative, I must say.
Do you need to like sign a paper and have witnesses if you get married in a church in Sweden?
I think you still choose to have witnesses. You don't need to sign anything because that's done by the priest. I think it happens sort of automatically.
我完成全部的手续了，我终于结婚了。现在问一下我爸妈有什么想法？现在有女婿了。
祝你们2个以后长长久久。
白头偕老。
还有后面一句啊，
哎，怎样？
早生贵子。
快点啦，你老爸要当阿公。
你们现在结婚几年了
30年。
啊？那你对我们这种新婚的夫妻有什么让婚姻可以长长久久的建议？
相互容忍，这样互动。
那妈妈呢？
让我们2个好，我们就好，对，我们就很高兴的。
谢谢爸爸妈妈。
终于结婚啦！
太大声了吧？好像这边女儿嫁不出去的感觉，这样什么意思啊？
等到你们结婚了，
怕我嫁不出去啦。我旁边呢是我弟弟们，就是我从小到大的保镖。那你对那个你新的姐夫有什么感觉呢？
啊，很棒，
很棒哦，怎么说？
比姐姐好。
啊，你呢？
好像这个家庭多了一个人这样，然后也恭喜欢迎加入这个家庭。
哦，
谢谢，谢谢，
谢谢弟弟们，终于正式结婚了。卢卡斯的名字出现在我的配偶栏。
我们结婚了，
终于。
Officially done with all the paperwork.
对，我们是那个结婚证明书中英版本，办瑞典那边的结婚的话，就需要到这个，就是我们的书约。然后特别感谢我的好朋友166CM Studio 帮我做的这个书约，而且全部都是照着我们想要的感觉去做的。然后这里有我们的一些特别的日子，我们是在2020年5月6号 First Chat on Instagram， 对，然后还有3月29号是我们的订婚，就是 proposal 的日子。今天其实是12月6号，但因为我们的办好日子农民历呢，对我们来说，明天是比较好日子，但明天礼拜6，现在户政事务所可以提早先办申请，明天就会正式的生效。
So confused. Hopefully we can figure this out a little bit later in this video. What all this means, yeah.
对，还要感谢我最好的朋友 Tiffany 帮我做的这个捧花，大家可以记得追踪一下木西花艺。然后如果你有任何捧花的需求啊，或者日常想要送生日等等的纪念日都可以哦。还要感谢我爸妈，还有我最好的朋友 Sylvia 来当我的证人。
瑞典代表 Helena 帮我是做一个 Swedish representation. So now we can officially call this a Taiwanese and Swedish marriage. First trip as a married couple, and the wife is doing all the driving so far.
我们昨天刚完成登记，因为我们是昨天申请，然后今天生效，所以 technically today is the
First day of marriage.
First day of marriage.
Yeah, very interesting. Not at all how I imagined it to be honest. I feel in Sweden, it's so much more focused on like the emotional event. You spend so much time focusing and preparing for just like, let's say like the party, but like or the ceremony.
Yeah, but because we kind of separate it, like 登记是登记, and then we will have a 婚礼啊, and then we have a 婚纱, like everything's kind of separate. But in West country, it's more like everything in one day.
Yeah, so that was a huge difference. And with that, because I'm a foreigner as well, so much paperwork to get this done. We have literally spent 6 months getting all the papers.
And spent so much money on it.
This is how much we spent in total to get married. Yeah.
And also, 我们差点结不了婚.
Our papers almost expired as well, but we made it.
But after all, it's kind of our fault because we want to get married earlier, but we're just kind of like procrastinating.
We went to Thailand.
Yes.
I did the Huandao. I actually just got so busy with videos, so we just like, you know, there's no rush. We had already done like the hunsha. We had already done the wedding rings, so it kind of felt like we were married. And then we realized we still had like 3 weeks left. I was like super calm, and I'm like, you know, we still have 3 weeks to get this done, because I thought you just take all these papers, you go to like City Hall, then Mintia's mom came into the picture.
She just like, oh, you need to choose a day. 要看好日子啊，不能随便那个会有什么你的生肖会对冲还是什么之类的。
So confused. No one during my 14 years here in Taiwan, even like my married friends, have never mentioned this. I did not know that this was a thing. But I assume that you people watching are very much more familiar with this than I was. But one thing was super confusing as well. It's like there's different dates on when we actually register and when we applied for marriage.
Just because like Taiwanese will care about a date. If like your good days is on a weekend, 那怎么办? So they have like these systems like you can go there, apply, within 3 days, depending on which day you're gonna choose, you'll be officially registered.
2 other like super foreigner things. The 那个书, it's the fanciest form I've ever seen. I FaceTime my mom and I showed her like the paperwork. This is so weird that this is like official paperwork that you can like design yourself.
I mean, there's some certain things that you need to follow. You don't have to do it though. We went to the 户政事务所, they do have like the 公版, like you can just get it. 这个是户政事务所提供一个结婚的书约. It's much better than I thought. I thought it would be just like black and white. Ironically, next to it, you have a 离婚协议书. I hope we'll never need it. Something very special is that we don't do it English and Chinese because most people do that. We do it Chinese and Swedish. 一切的流程我觉得都还蛮快的啦，因为我们有请摄影师来帮我们记录这个登记的一个流程。
Now the question, we have this photographer recording us now during the day.
Yeah.
So why do you do the hunsha photos? I don't get the difference between these things.
No, I think 婚纱 just like we dress beautiful and everything's more prepared. That just like 拍好看的照片 and maybe 10 years later that you can show off to your kids or your friends like, oh, that's how you look 10 years ago when we just got married. But for 登记摄影, 我觉得 it's more like catch the moment. I was like actually hesitating if I should hire someone to take a photo for us because I feel like it might not be necessary. I can just ask my friend to do it. But I feel like hire someone who is professional and experienced. They would really know what's the moment they need to be catched because like no one has experience. We don't really know what's the process. So actually, I was asking a lot of questions to a photographer. Like, you know,
what do we do now?
Yeah, what we do
So
now?
we have no idea.
等一下要干嘛？等一下干嘛？啊，我现在签完了，我等一下还要签什么？ Like the photographer, because he has done this like for 3 years. He knows what's going on. I can ask him, and he knows what's the moment is really, really important. When the witness will sign, and when like I will get my actual 身份证 back, and that's the moment that you really want to remember, right, for the rest of your life. And thanks to 丰摄影, they have been doing this 登记摄影 for like 3 years. They are very experienced. They know which angle is good and memorable to save.
Because there's a thing as well, like when these happen, it happens like so fast. We only had like 1 hour, right?
Yeah.
Because like for the time, it takes like 2 times as much just to figure out what is going to happen and be on the right angle. But yeah.
And also like nowadays, a lot of people, they might not have a wedding. They can just do like 登记摄影, save the really important moment. But at the same time, like they will give you some time afterward to just do some like street shooting. And you can just dress nice. It doesn't have to be like very fancy, big, 白色的婚纱. It's just a very nice dress is enough, and it's more like you catch the moment and then to remember this like special day for the rest of your life.
How do we find them, by the way?
Oh, I would just like just go on Instagram and just check like all the photo because I want to know what should we take on the like signing the paper or like cementing the paper day and stuff. I will just find them on Instagram, and I really like their style, and that's how I find them.
And fittingly, that's exactly how I found you.
Oh, that's true.
I was swiping on Instagram and I liked your style. This is the worst parking ever in the history of this marriage. What is happening right now?
Why you're not driving? Alright, 我们先去吃饭吧。结婚后的第一餐。How does it feel to be a husband now?
During this entire process, the biggest difference was definitely going from like sambo to like fiance, because that's when it started to feel like real, as in like we're actually gonna be together for the rest of our lives. I think maybe also because like we kind of cheated a little bit, like wearing the rings, and also like we did the hunsha and stuff. Honestly, it's more like a relieved feeling that it's like I'm just glad that all the paperwork is over and that you're stuck with me for the rest of your life.
After you proposed me, it was like a second honeymoon 的感觉. Before, I thought I wouldn't feel that much. Because just like the day you sign the paper, 好像没什么太多
it feels like you go to the DMV and you just do like selling a car or something.
But I do feel a little bit different. We do have a responsibility for each other now. And I'm a wife. I don't know, I just feel like weird. Like I'm a girlfriend, I'm a fiance, and now I'm a wife. I don't know, it's nice. I feel like I'm happy.
And if you're happy, then I'm happy. That's everything I learned. Yes.
We didn't do much of crazy ceremony or something, but I do feel like you're my husband. I did a good choice, and I choose you to be my husband.
And of course, you're always right. So I agree. I know my husband duties already.
还有什么？
对不起，是我的错。你是对的。
那今天影片就到这里喽。大家如果有登记摄影或者是婚纱摄影的需求，大家记得联系丰摄影，他们的风格我超级喜欢的。如果你需要他们的资讯呢，下面资讯栏有连结，大家可以去看看哦。大家如果有其他登记的流程的问题啊，或异国婚姻的一些问题，欢迎大家可以留言告诉我们。拜拜 ，Hello，
拜拜 ，Hello。